You know, you probably didn't know this because I don't really show this side of me on the internet too much, but I'm somewhat of a Nintendo fan. Just mildly though, I've been collecting a few knickknacks over the years. I'm a casual kind of fan. I have, a few of the consoles. I might have recorded one or two videos around that kind of subject here or there, but it's safe to say that I'm somewhat of a Nintendo fan.
So yeah, I think it's pretty obvious by now, if you've been on my channel, that I am in fact a Nintendo fan. So what better video to make than one about Sonic? But first, a brief history, if you will. Since, well, the bane of my existence, I've always grown up with the Wii and a small amount of GameCube. But my most clearest memories have been the Wii. I mostly played Super Mario Galaxy 2, Mario Kart Wii, Zelda Skyward Sword, all that jazz. But I never really played many Sega games. In fact, heck, I barely had any exposure to Sega at all until, well, ever. Now, a lot of people, mostly people that grew up in the 90s, remember very clearly the original Sonic the Hedgehog on the Sega Mega Drive, or Genesis. I, being born in the mid-2000s, am not one of those people. But it's pretty clear that a lot of millennials are very nostalgic for Sonic, and you know what? I might be the first Nintendo fan to say this, but that's fine by me. Even though Nintendo and Sega were arch rivals in the early 90s and late 80s, I still have a lot of respect for Sega. But yeah, pretty much the first exposure I really had to Sonic was like, I don't know, maybe occasionally playing a Sonic emulator or playing him in Smash Bros. I don't know. It's really hard to pinpoint the first time I was really introduced to Sonic. But to be honest, I never really was fully. But I thought it would be an interesting concept if I played a bunch of the old Sonic games and review them on the channel, because But before, I think we need to set up a bit. What do I have that's Sega related? Super Monkey Ball on the GameCube, and that's pretty good. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, sure. Sonic Advance for GBA. Spoiler alert, we're going to be reviewing that in today's video. I don't have any other Sega related knickknacks, so the official Sega website will have to do. I also think a shirt change was warranted. Now first, just a bit more history and then we will get back into it. And they didn't really have much of a protagonist or like kind of main icon before the Mega Drive, and that's when they made Sonic. Which, funnily enough, the character of Sonic was just literally made to contrast Mario, which says a bit about how toxic they are. What? And obviously, the first Sonic was a smash hit. Everyone loved it. Second Sonic, smash hit. Third Sonic, probably a smash hit. But then after that, yeah, it started to get just slowly worse. On the Sega CD, they made Sonic CD. I don't know whether how well it was received when it came out, but I know people seem to like it now. And then the Sega Saturn came out, where they capitalized on the 3D gaming market, and then they made things like Sonic Adventure and Sonic R, noticing a pattern. And then the Dreamcast came out, and actually I'm not sure what came out for the Dreamcast, but it probably wasn't good. Then they stopped making consoles and just started handing out the character of Sonic to everyone. And it's very clear that the quality of Sonic games was slowly declining over the years. Now, there are a few modern Sonic games that were said to be good, like Sonic Generations, and Sonic Mania was apparently the best Sonic game. And apparently Sonic Colors was alright. I still haven't played any of these. But yeah, you get my point. Now, I could make an entire video about how flawed of a company it is and how they don't have a very consistently good quality of games, but I don't want to whine too much on the internet. So today I'm going to be talking about some classic Sonic games that are universally seen as good. Starting off with Sonic the Hedgehog on the Sega Mega Drive / Genesis. Now this is clearly the Sonic game that everyone remembers playing, and it has the biggest nostalgia base for it. Nostalgia base? That's not a word. Fan base of nostalgia for it. But here's the thing. Well, the game isn't really that bad, and I definitely had a good hour or so of fun out of it. I don't like it very much. Now, a lot of the time, it can be really fun. Green Hill Zone, very good. Some of the other zones, very good. I can't remember the name of any of the other zones except Marble Zone and Green Hill Zone. But occasionally, it will have a zone with just the worst level design and the worst enemy placement and the most boring themes, and it's just like, Marble Zone is one of the worst levels I've ever played in all of gaming. Most of it is just standing around and waiting, when the entire gimmick of Sonic's character was to be speedy and fast. Gotta go fast. More like gotta stand around for this platform to appear. It is just so infuriating. The visuals are kinda cool, I will say. I like the colours, but that could go for every single zone in the game. In fact, most levels in this game have amazing visuals, and it's probably the biggest strong point if you ask me. But it can just be so irritating sometimes, and just sometimes feel like it's just got bad level design. The levels are either really cool, boring as hell, or just frustrating. The water zone has a pretty cool vibe. I like the look of it, but it's just a nightmare to play, and it just isn't fun. But I can definitely see why people consider it a good game, and I had my fun with it. But I'm more than happy to just put it down and never look at it ever again. So I can tell it's a decent enough game, but I don't really like it. Now we're going to be talking about Sonic 2, also on the Mega Drive/Genesis. Now I don't believe this game initially sold as much as Sonic 1, but I still think it is so much of an improvement over the first game. They definitely turned and notched down the difficulty a tiny bit, but it's still pretty challenging, which is not a bad thing at all. I also think that it's a big improvement on how fast you can go, because a lot of the first Sonic game was, standing and waiting, particularly in like Marble Zone. But it feels like every single level in Sonic 2 has a pretty decent amount of space where you can just run around pretty much, so which is always a good thing. So yeah, I think it's a big improvement over the first game. Now, is it perfect? No. But I think a lot of that is something to do with the fact that I think maybe Sonic's kind of gameplay probably is less so my thing than the more simplicity of like Mario games. But like, I can definitely see why it's good for some people. I also like the fact that each zone only has 2 acts this time, because in Sonic 1, this might have something to do with the fact that the zones weren't as good, but I just got really bored of them eventually, and just 3 entire acts is just quite long. But yeah, I don't really have much to say about Sonic 2. I think it's a lot better than the first game, but yeah, I don't think I have much to say about it really. Now Sonic 3, I have even less to say about. I don't think it's as good as Sonic 2, but I do think it is better than Sonic 1, and honestly, I think it has probably one of the best visuals yet. It's definitely got the best first zone. I like the tropical kind of feeling of it all, and it's just got really cool visuals. But the gameplay feels kind of generic if you ask me. Probably more fun than the original, but that's not saying much. It's just not very memorable in my opinion. And if you thought I had not a lot to say about Sonic 2, yeah, I have nothing to say about Sonic 3. So you know what, I'm just going to move past it. It's a cool 2D platformer that I'm probably never going to play ever again. Now here's a game which I have way more to say about, and that is Sonic CD. Sonic CD, I don't know whether it's the best that I've played, but it is goddamn my favourite. It's definitely the Sonic game where I had the least amount of frame rate issues, and it's even got special levels which are really fun. They kind of remind me a bit of Super Mario Kart in a way, and I think the visuals, again, are really cool. Now, something which I found a little bit weird, but nothing that kind of made the gameplay worse or anything, was the kind of gimmick of it was time travel, which really wasn't utilised as well as it could have been if you ask me. It kind of makes it so there are certain poles that you stand next to, and it actually took me ages to figure out what these actually did, but it shows what the level looked like in the past or the future, which if you ask me was way more lame than it could have been. Most of the time it was just a colour change, really. But speaking of that, the colours, wow, they are really cool. Sonic CD probably has the best visuals of any Sonic game, if you ask me. I really like the art style. It's kind of abstract and geometric in a way. It's a really weird game that I really like. But something that I just found quite odd and an interesting choice What the hell is up with that Fun is Infinite screen? Typing a certain code into the music screen gives you this. Huh. Okay. But apart from that weird thingy, this game is really, really cool and probably my favourite Sonic game. I'm not even joking. And the last game we are going to talk about is the only game that I actually have physically and is a bit more of a modern one. Well, when I say modern, I don't mean modern, I mean more modern than the other games I've been talking about. And that is Sonic Advance for Game Boy Advance. Now, this game is definitely one of the easier probably the easiest Sonic game that we've talked about so far. But I think it is definitely a really good game. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as Sonic CD. It definitely did have a lot of fun with it, and it's probably the one I've played the most, just because it's the most convenient, because, I don't know, I can just, like, bring it everywhere. Although I don't really go outside, so I guess that doesn't affect it much. But I don't have to be constantly sitting at a computer to play an emulator, so that's a bonus, I guess. It's the only one that I actually completed, and I really can't tell that much whether it's better than Sonic CD or not. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure I prefer Sonic CD. But it's still just a really fun 2D platformer. CD was a little bit difficult, but, like, probably slightly easier than all three of the other games. The only thing that's holding back Sonic Advance really is that the difficulty only kicks in through, like, the last couple of zones, because the first couple of zones are basically a cakewalk. It's just really easy at the start. But apart from that, it's just a really fun 2D platformer that I can kind of play it while half paying attention. Probably my favourite GBA game that I have right now. And I also think it has probably one of my favourite soundtracks in a Sonic game. Well, I just talked about Sonic games for the past couple of minutes, and I just hope Shigeru Miyamoto didn't hear me. Wait. Shigeru, it's not what it looks like. Oh, that was a really bad joke. Anyway, goodbye.